So in our previous video about segmentation, we learned why marketers do segmentation. And as we learned, marketers need to segment the market or break down the market into smaller pieces because marketers cannot effectively satisfy the needs and wants of all the individuals of a particular market. So in the United States, with a population of over 300 million, no company can satisfy the needs and wants of each individual. So what they have to do is they have to group all of those consumers together into different segments so that the consumers within one particular group is similar within the other members of that particular group but different than other segments whose needs and wants might be very different. Now in some cases, breaking down the market into different pieces may not be required because the entire market's need and want might be the same, right? So in some product categories this could be the case. For example, salt. So if you are a company that is manufacturing and selling salt, in terms of the consumer's needs and wants with that particular product, there is not a lot of difference. It does not matter who you are, your necessity in terms of salt and what you want to get out of salt, your need and want as it pertains to salt, is very similar to anyone else here in the United States or anyone else anywhere else in the world as well. So in that case, the needs and wants of everybody is the same, so the same product and the same marketing mix may be able to satisfy the needs and wants of everyone. But in some cases, the consumer's needs and wants will be very different. So in that case, what you want to do is you want to create groups of consumers or segments of consumers that have similar needs and wants. And that is what segmentation is all about. So when we are talking about segmentations, we need to understand that we want to group people into different segments. But how do we go about segmenting the market? How do we put people into different groups or different segments? How do we categorize the people into different segments? Now there are some very well established metrics that is used to segment the consumers into different groups. The ideal way would always be to group consumers based upon their needs and wants. But the problem in many instances is that even though you are able to figure out who the consumers are in terms of their needs and wants, you might be able to create a specific product that satisfies a specific need and want. You still need to identify who are the consumers that have those needs and wants. In the previous video, I gave you an example of saltiness of cheese puffs. So there might be some consumers who want 5 out of 10 saltiness versus there might be some other consumers who want 8 out of 10 saltiness. Now the marketer might know that there are these two different segments, but who are the people who belong to these segments is something that the marketer will have to figure out, because if there are other differences between those segments, that will have a very big impact on your marketing mix. Let's say there is a big gender difference in terms of consumers who want the 5-level saltiness versus 8-level saltiness. Now if we're able to figure out that the 8-level saltiness is desired by females whereas the 5-level saltiness is desired by male, then you could create a complete marketing mix geared towards satisfying the needs and wants of these two target segment. Now you can create a marketing mix for males versus create a marketing mix for females, which gives you a more understanding and ideas in terms of the other marketing mix variables, such as the price that you can set, the distribution of where you can sell your particular product, and how you can advertise the product, because the way male and females receive advertisements messages might be different as well. So understanding all of those different criteria are important for you to create marketing mix for those two segments. And because in many instances it is difficult to segment the market based upon the needs and wants, because even though you can create a product, you do not know who the people who belong to these segments are. So in that case, a lot of companies, what they do is they use different variables to segment the market. And we'll talk about the few variables that are very widely used to segment the market into smaller pieces. One of the biggest ways that a company can segment the market is based upon geography. right? So geographical region could be a way to segment the market. Now you can segment the market based upon geography by foreign market versus domestic market. Even within the United States, you could segment the market based upon north versus south. We know that there might be some cultural differences in the north compared to the south, right? So that would mean that the consumer's needs and wants in the north might be different than the consumer's needs and want in the south. So this could be reflected based upon the types of food that the people eat in the north versus the type of food that people eat in the south. It could also be reflected in terms of the types of clothes they wear, right? So in the north, in terms of climate, it's relatively colder during the winter, or it's the winters are really harsh, versus in the south where the winter are really mild. So the type of jackets or the type of coats that are required in the north is very different than the type of winter wear that people in the south wear, right? So there is a geographic difference, and this geographic difference can be used to segment the market into distinct segments. We can use states as well to segment the market in the United States. Another way to segment the market geographically could also be in terms of city versus in terms of small towns or rural areas, right? So the consumers who are part of the small town might have different sets of needs and wants compared to the consumers who are living in a urban and densely populated area. So the demand for public transportation, let's say, might be really high in urban areas, versus the demand for public transportation might be very low in the rural and small town areas, right? So there is differences in terms of the needs and wants, and that could be used to segment the market into different segments in terms of geography. Another way to segment the market may be in terms of demographics factor. So we know that in terms of demographic differences, there might be different needs and wants. So for example, one demographic factor is gender, male versus female. The needs and wants of the male consumer and the types of products that the male consumer buys might be different than the needs and wants of the female consumers and the type of product that they buy. So for example, just thinking about something that's on top of my head, well, it's not on top of my head, but thinking about an example, let's say hair care. So the needs and wants of the male in terms of their hair care is going to be different than the needs and wants of the female in terms of their hair care, right? So the types of products that the male demographics will buy versus the female demographics will buy for their hair care product is going to be very different. In terms of hygienic and health product also, the products that the male buys versus the female buys might be different. So in this case, there is a possibility to segment the market in terms of male versus female demographic. Now thinking about health related products, let's talk about hand sanitizers, right? So hand sanitizers, do you think there is a difference in terms of gender? Would you be able to segment the market in terms of gender? I don't think the male and the females differ in terms of their needs and wants when it comes to what they want to get out of a hand sanitizer. So it might be the same. But let's talk about age difference. In terms of hand sanitizer, younger kids might have different needs and wants. Their skins might be more sensitive, so the hand sanitizer product might need to be different for different age groups. For adults, the hand sanitizers that are present in the market abundantly might perfectly work well, but for kids, you might want to create a different types of hand sanitizer that might have different chemical components that work well with kids, toddlers, right? So in this case, there is a difference in the need and wants in terms of the demographic factor of age. Different age groups might have different needs and wants. The types of clothes, the types of fashion wear that a teenage demographic wears compared to a adult demographic is very different. So there is another way to break down the market in terms of demographics is in terms of age and generations, right? So we know that there are different generations here in the United States: baby boomer, millennials, generation X, generation Y, and generation G, right? So all those different generations belong to different age groups, and they will have different sets of needs and wants when it comes to a specific product category that they want to buy in, right? And they may also have different sets of needs altogether. Like the baby boomers might need healthcare a lot more than millennials or the younger generations right now. Right? So there is a difference in terms of the needs and wants in terms of the age demographic. Similarly, there might be differences in terms of family life cycle. So in terms of family life cycle, if you are married with kids, then your needs and wants and the types of product that you value will be different than if you're married without kids, right? Or if you are not married at all, right? So there are different stages of life cycle that a consumer might belong to, and depending upon the stages of the family life cycle that the consumer belongs to, their needs and wants will be different, because the types of product that they value might also be different, right? So family life cycle is another way for companies to break down the market into smaller segments. Let's just take an example of a membership of a Sam's Club or a Costco, right? So you know that if I'm a single person, then the Sam's Club and Costco membership, for which I'll have to pay $45, $50, or $100 per year, is not worthwhile, because all the products that I can buy there are in really, really big bulk, right? And I, as a single person, will take a long time to get over all the products that I buy, and in many cases the product might actually expire because before I am able to finish that particular product. So since I'm a single person, I will buy in smaller quantities, versus if I am a member of a family and I have two kids or more than two kids, a husband and wife, and a family of four. In that case, the Costco membership might make sense, because I can buy in bulk, save a little bit of money, and then I will benefit more from a Costco membership than a single person would, right? So there are differences in terms of family life cycle as well that you need to take into consideration. So other demographic variables that you could use to break down the market could be religion, race, income, etc. Right? So for example, people have different values when it comes to their religious beliefs, and because of their religious beliefs, it might have an influence on the types of products that they value. It might have an influence on the types of magazines or media that they listen to, right? So in that case, their needs and wants might be different, and the way that they go about satisfying those needs and wants might be different than people from other religious groups. So that would be one way for you to segment the market. In terms of income, we know that different levels of income will definitely have a really big impact on the type of products that the consumers values, their needs and wants, right? And the types of product that they are going to go outside to buy. So if you're an uber rich person, a very, very rich person, the types of boats that you want to buy will be very, very different than if you are a medium income person and you want to buy a boat. The types of boats that you will be able to buy will be very different than the types of boat that somebody in a different income level will be able to buy, right? So your needs and wants in terms of what you want to get out of your boat may be different than the needs and wants of a rich person who wants to get a different set of functionalities out of the boat that they want to get. So their needs and wants might be different. So you could break down the market in terms of income as well. We see many markets that have been broken down in terms of income level. Thinking about just the car industry, you can think that Toyota versus Lexus. Although both of them are the same company, Lexuses are pricier. Now there are some differences between Toyotas and Lexus. Lexus is geared more towards people who earn a higher amount of money compared to people who buy Toyota, who are more middle class, right? So Lexus is more geared towards rich people and the people who have a higher income level, compared to Toyotas, which are geared towards a different income level altogether. And we see this happening all over the place. For example, if you buy a plane ticket, most likely we will buy economy tickets, versus now there is a business class who are able to afford a higher level of prices. They are able to afford more, so there is a first class and the economy class. So there is a difference in terms of the product based upon the income level. So the market has been segmented based upon income. Another way to segment the market in terms of demographics could be in terms of race and ethnicity, right? So for example, the types of products that I value and that I want to buy as a Nepali is going to be very, very different than the types of products that somebody else is willing to buy who grew up in a different portion of the world. So based upon nationality, there might be difference in the needs and wants. depending upon your race, whether you are a Caucasian, whether you are Hispanic or an African American, your needs and wants might be different as well. So in that case, you could segment the market based upon race or ethnicity as well, right? So demographic factors and geographic factors are generally the most widely used factors in terms of segmenting the market, because it is very easy to do. And in many cases it is easy to do because you can actually see those demographics and geographic differences. Just by using simple metrics, you are able to understand which person belongs to which demographics. So it is easy to segment the market and then to categorize people based upon your segmentation variable. So if I'm a male, I'll fall into the male demographics. If my income level is above $50,000, then I'll be in the category of people who earn above $50,000. So if I'm a Christian, then I can be put easily into the Christian segment. So demographic segment is relatively easier to do. Demographic segmentation and geographic segmentation is relatively easier to do, and a lot of companies do demographic and geographic segmentation when they are creating their marketing plan, their segmenting, targeting and positioning plans. Now demographic factors might be easy to do, but it might not be the most effective, because even though two people might belong to the same demographic, their needs and wants might be drastically different. So just because I'm around 40 years old and make over $50,000 and I'm highly educated, that does not mean that another person who has the same demographics will have the same need and want that I do, or even similar needs and wants that I have, right? So our needs and wants might be completely different, even though in many cases they might be similar. And that's what the demographic segmentation is counting upon. The demographic segmentation is counting upon the fact that people who belong to the same demographics will have same needs and wants, and that's why you could break down the market in terms of demographics. But in many cases, that's not true. A better way to segment the market would be based upon psychographics. So in terms of psychographic segmentation, you're not segmenting the market based upon demographics like age, income, race, religion, but what you are segmenting the market is based upon the personality, the lifestyle, the motivations that drive the consumers. So all the different factors that could be associated with the psychology of the consumer.